Time we'll call to order the February 17, 2026 meeting of the City of Clearwater Community Redevelopment Agency. This time we'll move to item 2.1 on the agenda.
Approve the minutes of the January 12, 2026 CRA meeting.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Yes, so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Move to item 3 on the agenda. Are there any citizens here today to be heard on items that are regarding the CRA that are not on today's agenda? Hearing seeing none, move to item 4.1.
February 2026 Legacy Business Spotlight, Direct Mail 2.0.
Good afternoon, board members, trustees. Jesus Nino, CRA Executive Director for the record. I'm going to introduce Ms. Tasha Hadley to present this particular item.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Tasha Hadley, CRE Specialist, and today I'm honored to recognize Direct Mail 2.0 as February 2026 Business Spotlight winner. This is considered the Legacy Spotlight because they are longstanding business that have operated for over 10 years or more in our downtown redevelopment area. So, established in 2015 and headquartered on 600 Cleveland Street, Direct Mail 2.0 has continued to grow while maintaining a commitment to economic activity within our downtown Clearwater district. CEO and co-founder Brad Kugler established Direct Mail 2.0 with a clear mission: to ensure traditional marketing could adapt and thrive in today's evolving landscape. By blending direct mail with modern tracking technology, the company has provided businesses with measurable, data-driven insights that strengthen performance and results. Beyond innovation, Direct Mail 2.0 is invested in people, fostering a collaborative workplace and culture supporting educational institutions, charitable organizations, and community food drives. To help share their story, the CRA and Public Communications have collaborated to create a video. This video has been shared across our social media platforms, and a full article can be found on our website at myclearwatercra.com. At this time, we invite you to view the video. Thank you.
My name is Brad Kugler. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Direct Mail 2.0, and I've been here since April 2017, so I'm starting my 9th year. Direct Mail 2.0's relevancy is sort of driven by my past. I was in the DVD and CD business for 23 years, and it was completely disrupted by streaming media. I wanted something that I knew I could always innovate on and stay ahead of the technology curve, and Direct Mail 2.0 fit that bill. The services that Direct Mail 2.0 provides is an enhancement to old school direct mail. Now, the direct mail can be tracked just like a digital campaign through QR codes, callback numbers. We've breathed a new life into an old school marketing industry. The work culture is very family-like. I like seeing the employees. I like to be able to work with them hand in hand, walk up to their desk, see how they're doing. So if there's something we can do to make it fun or appreciative to come to work, we do that. We love to support the local community, so it's really important to me to give back. We help local learning institutions, beach cleanups to keep this area vibrant and renewed, and what better place to raise a family and grow a business.
Right over here. Did you have anything you wanted to say?
Oh, sure. Direct Mail 2.0 greatly appreciates this recognition and the acknowledgement of our contributions to this community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Are you good to go?
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you for all you did. Oh, something here for you. Yeah,
They usually just
wasn't paying attention there. It's different for you. Okay, with that will move to item 4.2 on the agenda.
Approve the Downtown Community Redevelopment Agency fiscal year 2025-2026 first quarter budget amendment and adopt resolution 26-01.
Good afternoon, Ann Lopez, CRA Assistant Director. This item that I have before you is to approve the amendments, the first quarter budget amendments for the downtown CRA. Florida Statute Section 163.387(7), which governs Community Redevelopment Agency trust funds, requires that all unspent funds remaining at the last day of the fiscal year be appropriated to an allowable expense. First quarter budget amendment reflects these required adjustments, and the amendments allocate existing funds as follows. $217,844.79 to continue supporting our engagement activities, $500,000 for downtown commercial grants and the development commitment for the demolition of 115 MLK, $200,000 to support infrastructure improvements within the downtown CRA. These amendments do not introduce any new revenue sources, but they instead reallocate existing funds, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Is anyone here from the public today that desires to speak to this agenda? I'm seeing none. Is there any trustees' discussion? No discussion. Is there a motion?
Wait, before the motion, the resolution.
Okay.
A resolution of the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Clearwater, Florida, adopting the first quarter amendments to the Downtown CRA 2025-26 annual operating budget, providing an effective date.
Okay. Now is there a motion?
Move to approve agenda item 4.2. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item 4.3.
Downtown revitalization.
And Jesus Nino, CRA Executive Director for the record. This item is your item to discuss any issues you would like to discuss about the downtown.
Okay. Any questions for the director regarding this agenda item? Councilmember Menino.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any questions. I appreciate this continuing to be on our agenda because there are so many awesome and great things going on in the downtown district. I think there are going to be those moments when it's time to brag about them and tell the stories. The construction's going, cranes are all over the place, and we've all been praying and begging for these opportunities for a long time, and they're upon us. So I think we keep spreading that story. I know the downtown branding and the city branding opportunities are moving forward. We're excited about that, but I hope we all just keep continuing to share that hope and optimism of the direction of our downtown and our city. So thank you for this opportunity.
I'll say I attended the Market Marie on Saturday. Great turnout. It seems like that keeps getting more and more momentum. Construction doesn't seem to be, dissuading people from coming downtown for that great market. Parking lot was full. Had to wait for a parking spot to get in. So that continues to be a great draw for our downtown too. So hopefully we can continue to help our businesses, particularly on Cleveland Street, benefit from the activities and events. I know we had a concert Saturday night that seemed to go well too, that we're continuing to draw more and more people to the park, and hopefully that'll filter out throughout the downtown and help folks succeed. Okay. With that, if there's anything else on that, we'll move to item 4.4.
Update on Placer AI product.
So this is an exciting item for our department, the Community Redevelopment Agency Department. So today we're going to have Parks and Recreation, Mr. Chris Cook, give a presentation, a demonstration on the Placer.ai platform. But before he does that, I did want to give you a little bit of history on how this came about. So the initial purpose of pursuing the Placer.ai platform was to better equip the City Council, the Community Development Agency trustees, and the DDB Board of Directors to better understand the traffic that's coming into the downtown because of special events, to give you more reliable data on attendance instead of just word of mouth, basically reporting individuals that put together their events, then just kind of guesstimating what kind of attendance is occurring in the downtown. And also, just because the Placer.ai tool, it also provides other information and market data that's going to be very valuable for the CRA department, Parks and Recreation, Economic Development and Housing, and other departments. So we're pretty excited. So as far as how it occurred, initially when I first started, I was trying to get this product. I was pushing for it, but then I also found out that Parks and Recreation was also pushing for it. Of course, we got slapped down a little bit, said you have to go through the procurement process to make sure that you make it competitive for other type of entities that do the same type of work that Placer.ai does. So it did go through that process. There was multiple proposals that were submitted, and ultimately Placer.ai did end up getting awarded the contract that was signed by the city manager. So this all occurred basically in late 2025, and then in late 2025, then the agreement was thereafter signed. So just to give you a little bit of breakdown on the cost of it, so it is $50,000, and that cost is being shared by the CRA Department, Parks and Recreation, and Economic Development and Housing, with the CRA contributing $25,000, Parks and Recreation $20,000, then Economic Development and Housing $5,000, for a total of $50,000. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to, and also Placer.ai is providing intensive training for city staff to learn how to use the product. And a lot of us are already learning how to use it and becoming pretty proficient in it. So Mr. Chris Cook will give you a demonstration.
Good afternoon, everybody. Trustees, board members, Chris Cook, Parks and Recreation Senior Manager. I think the idea here is to show you the usability and how simple it can be. So they found a Parks and Recreation person to come and demo some software for you. Couple of the things that maybe as you see some of the ways that we drive through here, any questions that you guys have or things that you find might help you in decision making, make sure we get those answered for you, because we're still scratching the surface and having those intensive trainings that Director Jesus had mentioned. So we can find, if we don't know the information, we can certainly find out if it's capable, and they are adjusting and adapting the software all the time too. So even if they don't do something, it doesn't mean we can't ask them to. So the first thing I'm going to show is especially related to downtown CRA. They have a district that's been created, right? So it's already mapped, and the nice thing with this is we can just pull open a market report. And I'll just walk you through some of the details that it shows directly in here. And for the purposes of a few minutes in here, I'm just going to add one filter in here, which is a specific date. And the mayor had mentioned the Market Marie, so we'll pull open a Market Marie date, and we'll get some data here for the district on that specific date. So just give a moment, it'll pop up. Okay, so as you can see, it's just got some market population metrics. It has, we can show year over year. We can go farther back if we'd like. This specific model is going to show residents as well as workforce. Oh, we wanted to get a screen working?
Oh, here we go. Now it's on now.
Oh, okay. Sure.
It's on now.
That's January.
Except that was
It's just a simple remote.
let's compare.
Okay, thank you. So it's got general population numbers. I think we mentioned at the last about how the data is given. So this would be unique people we're looking at. So even as you see over the course of some hours that I'll show a little bit later, this would be a unique populace. So the same person isn't pinging and showing up over the course of several hours if they're at an event or a location. So because I picked one date, we don't have another date to show it for, but it will show us some of the top visited places that people that picked up in this model on this date, locations that they've been to frequently. And then it gives kind of that hourly breakdown that I mentioned. So this was during our duck season, we'll call it. So we did see a higher traffic at different times of the day. But as you can see, Market Marie, there's clearly a bump in that attendance you can see between 10 and 2. As we keep going down a little bit further, there are demographics that are broken down. Brings up education, out of market visitors, income variables, demographic breakdowns that they have some ways that they've packaged some different demographics together that I think is interesting and just gives us a good idea on who's attending which events. And part of our role in Parks and Recreation is to have events that speak to a wide audience. So this is a good tool that will help us make sure that we're providing entertainment and things for all sorts of different audiences. So what I'll show here real quick too is we'll just use that same date, but a little bit of a more drilled in area. So what we can do is create kind of our own map. We can do this anywhere in the city. So if we want beach information, we want softball information like we just had, we can do that. If we want to drive up Cleveland Street, okay, we can create our own map. And then now it's gonna, let's see. The festival one I like for this model because it has out-of-town visitors specifically or out-of-area specifically in here. And it'll take just a second to populate. So this would be in that hand-drawn map that I showed you specific to that. Fastest, sorry about that. But as you can see, we can drill through data pretty quickly and do custom reports. So again, as we see, so this is showing 12,000 visitors on that date, on that Saturday, Market Marie date from January. The average time that they were there was 73 minutes. Again, it doesn't have any, we can do trending data, so this can help us look at what last year on this date without an event compared to this year. So that's where the visit trends would be helpful. And then here's just some additional info that we get from the going and drilling down into event details. We can see, where people are coming from. Specifically with some of our tourism markets. I already did a quick one on the softball tournament from last weekend. You can really see the red pockets from where those teams are located, where those colleges are. So for an event like the Market Marie, not surprising that we're drawing so heavily from within the Clearwater market. Again, it's got audience overviews that do a comparative to Florida. You can change that to nationwide, to different states. You can use it against the census information, but it's got good comparative details there, as well as different ways to look at charts. This one I like from an event perspective because it tells you within 15 miles of other events that are taking place on the same date and time. So we can make sure as we're planning things that we're doing so, keeping in mind what else is going on in the community and how we rank against those. So on a Saturday in January, the Market Marie, that time that we put in was the #1 festival in the area, according to this data. So again, some of these things that we'll update as a staff is some of the addresses that are in the Placer software are are repetitive, right? So we have Winter's Dolphin Tail Adventure as an old listing, but we can clean up some of these locations so that just gives us even better data. This shows us where they're coming from before and going after. So a lot of people came from home and went home after for this event, and it's interesting to see on the data where they will come from and where they will go. And then some of the routes in which they have to get there, so traffic engineering can benefit from this. We can see where traffic flow is going. Specifically, we think of 4th of July and how we make, traffic patterns with closures. This will be really helpful. I've already shared with some of the traffic engineering folks some of the software already. And then here's the data that we showed with numbers during that event specifically. We can dive in and see how many times individual users have visited, either similar event, same event, different events. And again, as Jesus had brought up at the beginning, we want to provide you, when looking at funding sources and making funding decisions, the information that helps you know the kind of impact that these events are having. So if there's any specific pieces of info, either that weren't covered here, or things that we can have to present to you before an event comes for a funding request, or even in the post-event request, we'll be happy to get your information, field it, and put it together. So with that, any questions? I will do my best to answer questions. I'm not the expert on this, but I'd be happy to
Councilmember
try.
Albrecht?
So I'm on the website. I just went to placer.ai. How do you bring up specific, like Clearwater? Do we have to log in for that, or?
Yeah, so as a city, we have a number of logins that came with that investment that was made. And so we'll have, as long as you're an active user for the city, you have access to these kinds of reports that the general public wouldn't have.
Okay.
Councilmember Menino?
You done? You done, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for the presentation. Awesome. Moving us forward with technology is vitally important, obviously, to us and our departments. Capturing data is important. I think what makes us different as a municipality will be how we capitalize on that data we collect. Sometimes people can get lost in data. I think our team will be successful in navigating that. I just had two quick questions for you. Is there a monthly or yearly subscription that comes along with this software?
To my knowledge, yes, we have a year-long agreement. It might be longer than that because of the procurement process we went through.
Okay.
But there is a subscription process that we went through.
And that'll be broken down, CRA, Parks and Rec, and Housing and Economic Development, I assume, or?
That's who helped fund the project, but as I shared earlier, if traffic engineering is looking for information, we're happy to use this across all lines to make the city better.
Absolutely. And then the last one, help me just better understand, define out-of-market visitors. Is that out of that district or the map you create, or?
Yeah, thank you. And just so I don't take up more of your time driving through this, there is some click downs. You can include residents, you can include businesses,
Wow.
so that your numbers will grow if you want to see the overall market report and how many people are there. But that specific one through festivals that I chose, I like that one because it is from people who live outside of a 15-mile or do not spend enough time where it shows that they work within that 15-mile.
Gotcha. Very cool. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, and thanks for
absolutely.
demonstrating it.
Anybody else? I want to say a couple things. One is that for me, this information is really important. So I know Visit St. Pete Clearwater is using similar technology, maybe even Placer. And they are really learning a lot about how many out-of-town folks visit events that they sponsor. Some, they've been surprised that a heavier number of out-of-town residents have participated in an event than they thought. And then there's been others where they've been sponsoring events that they've been told, hey, it draws folks from all over, and it turns out their data isn't showing that at all. It's mainly local folks. So for the TDC, that's really important because the whole point of the bed tax is to draw tourists in. And I think that helps us kind of define for us as CRA and the Downtown Development Board, what can we use our funds to maybe supplement or to, use for local, attract locals, where maybe the bed tax money, the TDC money isn't going to be there for that event in the future. So that's very helpful. And I think the other thing I see too is, we've always talked about, what role could the beach and visitors on the beach play in the revitalizing downtown? Are there things that we could offer to attract that large population that comes and goes? It was absolutely packed this past weekend. The beach was hard to find a room. Couldn't get a dinner reservation, particularly on I don't know why, on the 14th of February, you couldn't get a dinner reservation, even if you were the mayor. But I think that this, could help us kind of learn more about what kinds of things are happening downtown that do attract those folks to come in off the beach, and maybe that's, something we can use for further success. So for me, this is really, really helpful. And for all kinds of departments, not just Parks and Rec, and as you pointed out, police department has to control traffic and all these other departments that can really learn a lot from this and provide better service to our citizens. So I think it's a good thing. So, yep. Okay, thank you. Let's move to item 5.1.
Again, Jesus Nino, CRA Executive Director for the record. Going back to the Placer.ai item, I did want to thank the IT department. They were critical in helping us select the proper platform to use for the foot traffic and data collection that the platform does provide us, especially Dave Pearson and Mr. Dan Mayer. So enough of that, but just wanted to put that out in the record. So this is the February 2026 Director's Report. So the items we'll go through is, like every month, is the downtown activity and the North Greenwood CRA activity. We do want to start highlighting more and more, and we're starting to get help from other departments. And now that we do have Mr. Christopher Edwards here with Economic Development and Housing, the new director. So I'm not sure if I'm the first one to introduce you to him, but he's the man back there. But this department and other departments, they're going to be critical on and planning and development to help us start identifying these new businesses that are coming down to the downtown. So we'll try to get better and better to report that to you every month. But this month, we do want to highlight Gulfside Pizza and Subs. They're located in the corner of the 500 block, 530 Cleveland Street. They've been open now for a few weeks, and so far, just the feedback we get from them that the service that they've been provided by the city departments, it's spectacular, and they so far are being successful within those few weeks, and hopefully with us helping them and providing them any kind of resources they'll need, they'll remain successful there. So I know that the direction was that the Councilwoman Lena Teixeira, she would be basically the liaison, so Mr. Battle and myself and other staff members did meet with her. And we'll give you a quick little update here as far as what occurred so far up to date. So to date, this is for the Clearwater, the Reimagine Clearwater Main Library Cultural Destination Initiative. So staff is actively targeting organizations, associations, and individuals that are in that industry, either directly or develop it or just provide data. And we have engaged over 147 plus organizations. Then some of the key partners that, is it not on your screens? I'm sorry.
No, it's not. That's okay. It keeps shutting off. You're fine.
Not sure. It's not me, is it?
Yeah, they're trying to
You're,
get it.
you're good. Just continue on.
Okay.
You're okay. We can
We'll do it afterwards, don't worry.
This is a multi-department team that's starting to engage these organizations, museums, cultural institutions, and just catalytic individuals out there in the market that do this type of work to activate these type of libraries. So we have economic development, we have Amber, she's with arts and culture, we have public communications, we have parks and recreation, just multiple departments helping us make that contact. For instance, we've interviewed the creative Pinellas, Ruth Edgard Hall, Clearwater Historical Society, Florida Rama, Great Explorations Children's Museum, Zero Empty Spaces, Heatherwick Studios out of London, Fairmont Properties locally here with Mr. Ruttenberg, Museums of Science and Innovation. We have industry up there, but it's actually Museum of Science and Innovation. Maps Museum, and this is just a few of them. There's many, many more individuals that we've been interviewing. We've been traveling to them, you know, Economic Development, myself. We've been traveling to St. Pete, to Tampa, and anywhere that makes sense for us to travel fairly quickly. For instance, we just met with the CEO of Mosey, and we're also going to provide him a personal tour of the library just so he can come in and kind of take a look at what we got and see if he can identify stakeholders and partners that he might be able to identify to bring to the table. I'm not going the right direction. So again, we're doing direct interviews. We're exploring discussions with individuals in the industry. Again, that's with cultural institutions, arts and creative organizations, placemaking developers, regional stakeholders. We're also starting to see if we can do interviews. For instance, we had Councilwoman and the Mayor do an interview with 82 Degrees, which is locally. We're also working with Economic Development and Housing to see if we can create some type of publication and industry publications. And obviously we have the regular social media that we're exploring, that we're posting items on. Just to give you a little bit of the timeline so far, you know, back in before the end of the calendar year, we did bring this item to you at the end of the year. And basically we did get direction to move forward starting January 1st. So we've been doing that since January 6th and through April 17th so I went a little bit too fast there. So in planning phase 1, you know, September 16th to December the 1st, that's where we brought it to you to get that direction to move forward. Then we also had the planning phase from December the 1st again to January the 6th on how to strategize and internally on how to market this a little bit better and just kind of learn from lessons learned from the past. Then January 6th to 2026 to August 17, 2026, we've been doing pre-marketing. That's where we do this targeted outreach and interviews, monthly reportings, starting to schedule tours of the library, and just implement any kind of stakeholder feedback. Then the final phase would be towards the end of the year, where we're continuing to do tours, but we'll also issue a call for development concepts for the library. Or if there's some type of catalytic project that comes in before that has an awesome proposal, then we can entertain that with city management and potentially bring that to you early or just advertise it early to open that window up. So before I move on from that particular slide, I wanted to see if Mr. Battle had any input because he was part of some of those interviews, and I'm not putting you on the spot or anything. But we are getting a lot of feedback, and we're scheduling these tours. Get rid of this all together here. So we're continuing our monthly community outreach meetings. At the last meeting, sorry, not sure what happened here. So at the last meeting, we had the Denunzio group here at the library, and they gave a presentation on the downtown project that they're working on. I think the feedback from the community was well received, that we're bringing those individuals that are actually doing the construction to them so they can ask questions. So our next meeting, we do have it scheduled for February the 24th. And that meeting, we're going to have our city engineer and public works and other staff kind of start giving an update on the downtown construction and get their feedback. Right now what we're doing is we do have public works staff and CRA staff. We're doing those one-on-one meetings with the downtown merchants in the community just to kind of get their feedback on certain construction activities or certain plans that public works may have. In addition, it's not on this particular slide, but we do have Mr. Ruttenberg. He's going to, with Fairmont Properties, he's agreed to come in and be one of the guest speakers He's in, I think, summertime, according to staff. Am I correct? Yeah. So he's pretty booked, but he's agreed to be able to do that in the summertime to come in and talk to the community about, downtown activation and projects he's working on. So this is for the Cleveland Street District signage that we just had installed. This is as part of the Cleveland Street activation project. So we did have a few signs that are very nice. If you haven't seen them, they're beautiful. They're located in the 400 and 500 block. This says Cleveland Street District. Then you all seen the construction of the new pavers that are being installed there at the corner of the 500 block in front of the building where you're located. Then for North Greenwood, we had a lot of activation as far as the grants. Right now, to date, since July of 2024, we have a total of 52. Of those 52, 18 have been completed, 15 are under construction, then 6 of them are under review, then 13 we are already engaged with those residents to see how we can help them. And as far as the commercial grants, we still have 4 approved projects and 2 projects that have been completed for the North Greenwood area. Then for the North Ward Elementary School, staff continues to advance forward the North Ward Elementary School redevelopment through council coordination, site engagement, and targeted outreach. I do want to thank Economic Development and Housing and Mr. Battle that have taken the lead on this particular project. But because it is located within the North Greenwood CRA area, we continue to give you updates here because it's just easier to do that. From time to time, it will come to you as city council work sessions like in the past. So after reviewing the shrink wrap options, the orange material will be used to cover the structure. The first site tour was held on January 16th, was positive interest. A project brochure and landing page have launched. Then media release issued with public communications. Developer outreach is underway, focusing on historic preservation experience. And there is articles out there that you can read. Then the CAC meeting, the next one we have scheduled is for March the 4th, Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. at the North Greenwood Recreation Center. We'll continue to introduce CAC members to the public, and we'll continue to hear that feedback from the public and bring anything that bears from those CAC meetings, we'll bring it to you. That concludes the presentation, but I also had one more particular item, and I think almost slide. Can't see it. Yep, you can. So Ms. Mallory Turman and Ms. Gloria Campbell wanted me to share this. So last night they had a business showcase, basically for businesses that are potentially going to be selected to move into the mini container village that they're working on. So that occurred last night from 6:30 p.m. to about 9:30 p.m. At the Curtis Museum. So I was part of that panel that heard those small businesses that have potential to move into the mini container. So it was pretty well attended meeting by the community, by the businesses, and some of those businesses that are going to move in, they have very interesting concepts. And this is a partnership, so we have a partnership with St. Pete College. We have a partnership with Pinellas County Small Business Development Center, SCORE, and many other partners, financial institutions that are all at the table to help the mini container project be successful. That concludes the presentation.
Okay, any questions for the director? Vice Mayor?
Not so much questions, but actually commentary. So I want to first thank our city manager, Jennifer, for allowing me to have that opportunity to have a brainstorming session with our assistant city manager, Mr. Battle, and Jesus. And I really appreciated the opportunity to have a good discussion, share our thoughts, and as well as our research. And I brought with me, and I shared with you all some of the research that I had. And I was so pleased that you also shared the same results that I did, 2 of which were 2 locations that were international, which to me showed that we are pushing forward and we're thinking big. I think one of them was an AI company for Japan and the other one in London. So I was very pleased about that. The second thing, which I found a little bit surprising and I'm grateful for, is the idea that Mr. Battle opened up my mind to different opportunities that we should look at. So I always enjoy and put value to expanding our minds, so I really wanted to thank you all for that. And I look forward to working together with you all. And like I offered at that meeting, I'm willing to be part of that process if you guys wish. That's it.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you. That will move to item 6, which is to adjourn the February 17th meeting of the City of Clearwater Community Redevelopment Agency. I will take a 3-minute break, and then we got a lot of great folks ready to be recognized, and we're going to get right to you right off the bat in our next agenda.
Make it quick.
time we'll call to order the February 17th, 2026 work session of the Clearwater City Council. This time we'll move to item 1 on the agenda, and that is to present our February service awards. First, we'd like to recognize, we have 3 presentations. The first, we would like to recognize a 30-year employee. I'd like to call forward Timothy Chaplinsky from our Parks and Recreation Department. And ask the city... and ask the city manager to read the letter of appreciation.
Tim began his career with the City of Clearwater on February 20th, 1996. Starting as a custodian, through dedication and strong commitment to public service, he advanced through several divisions during his 30 years with the city, including Landscape Division, Ball Fields Division, and Public Utilities. As team lead, Tim supported operations throughout the city, from Countryside to Clearwater Beach. His leadership, reliability, and broad knowledge made him a trusted and valuable resource wherever he was assigned. Tim furthered his professional development at Pinnell's Technical Education Center, earning his Certified Landscape Apprentice credential. His education and hands-on experience contributed to landscaping projects at major recreation facilities across the city of Clearwater. A significant portion of Tim's career was dedicated to Clearwater Beach, where his work helped preserve the natural beauty and environmental quality of one of the city's most iconic locations, supporting its continued recognition as a premier destination. Throughout his career, Tim consistently went above and beyond his regular duties. He volunteered at numerous city-sponsored events, including Ironman races, Clearwater Jazz Festival, Arbor Day tree giveaways, and the Turkey Trot. He also played a crucial role in cleanup, recovery efforts following storms, hurricanes, red tide events, and during the enforcement of COVID playground safety protocols. Among his most challenging assignments was assisting with the respectful recovery and reburial at a cemetery following storm damage. Tim's exceptional knowledge of plants and landscaping, combined with his institutional knowledge and lead-by-example approach, have left a lasting impact on the department. Tim's 30-year career is a clear example of high-performing government and superior public service in action. Through his dedication, professionalism, and consistent willingness to go above and beyond, he helped ensure that city facilities, parks, and public spaces were maintained at the highest standards. His work directly supported the Clearwater's mission by delivering reliable, high-quality service to residents and visitors alike, while stewarding public resources with care and pride. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim, for 30 years of great service to our citizens. Now I'd like to call forward for a 35-year employee recognition, Greg Clamo from Public Works.
The City of Clearwater proudly recognizes Greg for 35 years of dedicated and exemplary public service. Greg began his career with the city in February 11th of 1994 as a streets and sidewalk technician too. Through professionalism, hard work, and a sustained commitment to excellence, he advanced within the organization and was promoted in 2013 to his current role as stormwater supervisor. Throughout his career, Greg has been a dependable and highly respected employee, consistently relied upon to deliver results. His extensive institutional knowledge of the city's stormwater system, including the history, location, and function of critical infrastructure, enables him to quickly assess complex issues and implement effective solutions. This expertise has been invaluable during routine operations as well as during high-pressure situations requiring sound judgment and a timely response. Greg is widely recognized for his comprehensive understanding of stormwater maintenance and construction practices. His leadership helps the city infrastructure and maintain safely and efficiently while protecting public safety and environmental resources. Colleagues regularly seek his guidance, value his experience, professionalism, and steady approach to problem solving. In addition to his professional accomplishments, Greg has demonstrated a strong commitment to the community involvement through his participation in initiatives such as United Way Day of Caring, Clearwater Neighborhoods Day, the Citizens Academy, and other community-focused events. Greg's 35 years of service reflect a career defined by dedication, accountability, and pride in public service. His contributions exemplify the City of Clearwater's commitment to high-performing government and superior public service and have a lasting positive impact on both the organization and the community it serves. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Greg.
Thank you, Greg, for your commitment to our citizens and also your obvious dedication to the Tampa Bay Rays. You've been in there hanging with them too, so a loyal fan. Next, we'll move to our Employee of the Month Award for February 2026, and I'd like to call forward Jeff Cater from Utility Customer Service.
Jeff exemplifies the highest standards of public service and leadership. He consistently oversees an efficient, accurate, and dependable meter reading operation, and his leadership is most evident when conditions are challenging. Recently, the department experienced a convergence of issues, including a short month, scheduled employee vacations, unexpected call-outs that significantly reduced staffing levels. Rather than allowing service levels or data integrity to be impacted, Jeff immediately stepped in. He donned his high-visibility vest and worked in the field, effectively performing the duties of 3 employees. Throughout the week, he ran routes, collected water and gas meter readings, and ensured uninterrupted daily operations, all while continuing to manage schedules, direct his remaining staff, attend required meetings, and remain available to support office staff with questions and problem solving. This was not a single-day response, but a sustained, hands-on leadership during a critical period. What sets Jeff apart is his strong sense of ownership and accountability. He does not view operational challenges as someone else's responsibility. Instead, he leads from the front, models reliability, and ensures the city's commitment to accuracy, safety, and customer service are upheld, even when doing so requires extraordinary personal efforts. Quite simply, Jeff is a superhero for the department. Jeff's actions directly support the City of Clearwater strategic plan by advancing high-performing government and superior public service. Through his continued commitment to operational excellence, data integrity, and team support, he ensured reliable service delivery while responsibly stewarding city resources. His leadership during this challenging period protected service continuity, upheld public trust, and demonstrated how strategic priorities are translated into meaningful results for residents and customers. Jeff's work ethic, humility, and dedication reflect the City of Clearwater's values. His actions ensured uninterrupted service, supported his team, and demonstrated exceptional leadership under pressure. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, Jeff, I don't think anybody's ever referred to me as a superhero of my department, so what a high compliment to you. Yeah.
She was going to keep it.
I like it so much. Can I have? Sorry.
Congratulations and thank you. Yeah. Okay, now we have some fire oaths of office for our city clerk to administer. So the first one I'd like to call forward William Fisher, the Assistant Fire Marshal, for swearing in.
I, William Fisher, do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and government of the United States and the state of Florida and the charter and laws of the City of Clearwater, that I'm duly qualified to hold office under the charter and laws of the City of Clearwater, and I will well and faithfully perform the duties of Assistant Fire Marshal, of which I'm now about to enter. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to the- Okay, now I'd like to turn this over to our city clerk, Rosemary Cole, again for swearing in of our new fire deputy chief, Mr. Scott Bavery.
I state your name.
I, Scott Bavery,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
and the charter and laws
and the charter and laws
of the city of Clearwater,
of the city of Clearwater,
that I am duly qualified
and am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the charter and laws
under the charter and laws
of the city of Clearwater,
of the city of Clearwater,
that I will,
that I will,
well and faithfully,
well and faithfully,
perform the duties
perform the duties
of fire deputy chief
of fire deputy chief
on which I'm now about to enter.
on which I am about to enter. Board?
Congratulations. Congratulations to Fire Marshal William Fisher and Deputy Chief Bavery. We welcome you. We're not going to put you on the spot for speeches today, but we are so happy to have both of you joining our already fantastic fire department team. With that, we'll move to the third item, which is presentation of Clearwater Fire and Rescue Department's 2025 Firefighter of the Year and Fire Medic of the Year. For this, I'd like to call forward our Fire Chief, Mr. Chad Pittman.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you very much. And I'll echo your comments about those two individuals that we just had the swearing in. I'm very happy that they're here. So let me start with Sloan first. It's truly my honor to recognize Fire Medic Sloan as our Fire Paramedic of the Year. Sloan, you want to step up here, please? Fire Medic Sloan represents the very best of Clearwater Fire and Rescue. He is an exceptional clinician whose patient care is precise, thoughtful, and consistent. Whether the call is routine or critical, he approaches it with the same calm focus and attention to detail. His clinical judgment, skill, and steady presence makes him someone both peers and supervisors trust without hesitation. What sets Fire Medic Sloan apart is that his excellence isn't tied to one single moment. It's what he delivers every shift. Often assigned to one of our busiest rescues, Medic 45, he gets to work without complaint and performs at a high level day in and day out. His steady, reliable performance strengthens the entire crew around him. He is also deeply committed to developing others. As a preceptor and instructor for paramedic students and the Clearwater Fire and Rescue Recruit Academy, he invests significant time and energy into training future paramedics and new hires. He volunteers to staff the medic unit to ensure recruits gain real-world experience, and he freely shares knowledge he's gained both on and off duty. His patience, professionalism, and high standards are helping shape the next generation of the professionals working for Clearwater Fire and Rescue. Beyond his daily responsibilities, Fire Medic Sloan is an active member of our Advanced Life Support Competition Team, demonstrating his commitment to sharpening his skills and pushing himself and his teammates to perform at an elite level. And perhaps the most impressive is his humility. He does not seek recognition. He simply shows up, works hard, supports his team, and delivers exceptional care to our community. For his clinical excellence, dedication to mentorship, commitment to professional growth, and consistent high performance, it is with great pride that we recognize Fire Medic Nolan Sloan as the 2025 Clearwater Fire and Rescue Fire Medic of the Year. All right, next up is our firefighter of the year, Jacob Williams. Firefighter Williams represents what this job is all about: courage, humility, and taking care of others when it matters most. This past year alone, he rescued a trapped victim from a burning building, demonstrating exceptional bravery and composure under extreme pressure. His quick assessment, decisive action, and commitment to safety of others directly contributed to saving this life. This incident is just one of the many highlights his courage and readiness to serve in the most challenging circumstances. But what really sets firefighter paramedic Jake Williams apart is who he is every single day at Fire Station 49. As the senior fire medic on Sea Ship, he sets the tone through steady, calm leadership. He delivers exceptional patient care and consistently strong outcomes. By anticipating needs, supporting his crew, and leading by example, he embodies what it means to be a skilled and dependable firefighter. Firefighter Williams is deeply invested in our newer members. He takes the time to mentor, teach, and lead by example, often taking on extra responsibilities to help others grow. It's not uncommon to find him staying late to review calls and ensure they understand not just what we do, but why we do it. What makes the story even more meaningful is the growth he's shown over the years at Clearwater Fire and Rescue. Firefighter Williams has continually pushed himself to improve, taking on new roles and responsibilities while setting a high standard for those around him. Through hard work, consistency, and a genuine commitment to his profession, he has become a strong leader in our department, and that dedication speaks volumes about his character. Whether he's pulling someone from a burning building, mentoring a new hire, or stepping up whenever he's needed, firefighter paramedic Jake Williams shows up with integrity and heart. Jake, your leadership, courage, and commitment to this department make the recognition well-deserved, and congratulations on being named the 2025 Clearwater Fire and Rescue Firefighter of the Year.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to these two great fire personnel we have, and thank you, Chief, and your entire department. You know, the bravery of pulling somebody from a burning structure or whatever is something that this honoree this year has done. But we know everyone on this department would do that in a heartbeat. You're trained to do that every day, put your own life at risk, and are willing to do it. And so we're appreciative of these two great personnel have been recognized here today, but also of everyone in our department who is willing to put their life on the line to save others every day. So thank you for all of you for your service. With that, we will move to item 3.1 on the agenda.
Declare a surplus for the purpose of sale to Rosemary Cooper, certain unaddressed real property located at the southeast corner of Palm Bluff Street and North Myrtle Avenue.
Good afternoon. Phil Kirkpatrick with Economic Development and Housing. Subject property is located at the southeastern corner of Palm Bluff Street, North Myrtle Avenue. It's a city-owned parcel, 0.022 acres in size, which has been determined to be an uneconomic remainder due to size. The Pinellas County Property Appraiser's Office has assigned a just value of $8,748. The property, along with others, was advertised for a 30-day period ending on December 5th, 2024. The adjacent property owner submitted an offer to buy the property in letter form to the city dated November 17th, 2024. Property is located in North Greenwood CRA. Because the property is benefit only to one potential buyer and only one offer for purchase was received, no technical review committee was convened. The sale of this property to the adjacent property owner will move it from tax exempt to a taxable status and will relieve the city of the cost of maintenance and the risk of ownership. Staff is recommending the sale of the property in accordance with the terms of the letter. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Okay, any discussion on this item? Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Move to item 4.1.
Approve a developer agreement with Gen Tampa 14 LLC.
Good afternoon, Joe Dobrovolsky, Marketing Manager, CGS Energy. CGS Energy is requesting approval of a developer agreement with Gen Tampa, along with an updated developer agreement template for future residential developments. The developer agreement is the primary tool that CGS Energy uses to commit gas use in new residential subdivisions. It outlines adoption requirements from the developer, as well as CGS Energy's design, construct, and natural gas infrastructure requirements. There are 3 updates in the new template, including updating our business name to CGS Energy, an updated remedies and limitations provision, and updated insurance and language requirements to align with Risk Department's 2026 requirements. We are also asking that the executive gas director is approved to enter into future agreements, provided legal has reviewed the agreement first. I'm available for any questions.
Okay. Any questions on this agenda item? Councilmember Cotton.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time here. I'm going to go into the development agreement, bullet point 10. I don't know if you want to bring that up, and it's the failure to meet the minimums. Essentially, I'm just going to go to the very end of this where it says that if they haven't reached 80%, they'll pay roughly $3,532 per household. Can you just shed more light into what that might mean for the general public so that they understand it as well?
Yeah, we have costs to develop our infrastructure and bring this gas service to the development. Effectively, if the requirement falls below the provision, the developer will reimburse us for the cost that we've put into that infrastructure. That's unlikely to happen in this circumstance. These are all gas compliant homes. We'll probably have close to 100% adoption.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other questions, discussion? If not, do we have consent?
Yep.
You have consent on 4.1. Thank you, sir. Agenda item 5.1.
Approve a purchase order to Rep Services, Inc. of Longwood, Florida for the purchase and installation of playground equipment.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Matthew Anderson, Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation. The item before you is to replace existing playground at Montclair Park. Playground has reached its effective age. The new playground we're proposing meets ADA compliance both at surface level and above by the installation of pour-in-place rubber. This is one of our former playgrounds that had 5R mulch in it. With the new playground, we'll be converting that safety surface to pour-in-place. It's safer and it's more cost-effective long-term through maintenance. You'll see on there is a piece that is impractical, which that covers the freight on this because it's not practical to bid out the freight on it. So at this time, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions on this agenda item? Comments? Okay. I want to say that I was over at Marymount Park on Saturday, and this new playground material is fantastic underneath. It
Good.
Clearly much softer and safer for any child that falls. So and not to deviate from the agenda item too much, but it looked great. And this is similar equipment that we're putting in over there?
Yes, sir. Very similar. Surface is very similar. The nice thing, like you said, about that surface is it never moves. With mulch, as kids play, that mulch shifts, and then that thickness for them to fall on changes. This never changes, and it reduces that annual need to go out and put 100 yards of mulch at a high cost to us every year. So it's really a good deal for everybody in this situation.
Very good. Okay. Do we have consent?
Yes.
We have consent. Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, sir.
Agenda item 5.2.
Approve an increase to existing purchase order to Quality Sod and Landscape LLC, Sunbelt Sod and Grading, and Tom's Sod Service.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Matthew Anderson. The item before you is to increase an existing purchase order for sod services. This has been before you. The reason for the increase is due to the volume of sod that was lost through saltwater intrusion and other issues surrounding the hurricanes. We did not have enough money in our original amount to finish out what we need to do. We're going to increase this on this year only. The subsequent other renewals will stay at the same approved rate by you guys at a former meeting. I'll be glad to answer any questions at this time.
Okay. Any questions on this item? No discussion. Do we have consent?
Yep.
We have consent on 5.2. Thank you. Agenda item 5.3.
Authorize a purchase order to Wise Hands LLC for citywide landscape plant material.
Good afternoon again. So this item before you is for landscape plant material, trees, plants. We use them every day in our operations. This was properly procured out through an invitation to bid. There was two respondents. One of them was deemed to be the most complete and lowest responsible bid. With the use of this will allow us to continue to increase our urban canopy cover and also continue with all the aesthetic improvements we make to various city facilities, parks, the beach, one of the most recent things we've landscaped. This allows us to have the buying power to purchase the plants as we need them, and it reduces us having to go out for quotes and things like that, which increases our ability to turn around our final product, which is a beautiful place to visit for our residents and guests. So I'll be glad to answer any questions at this time.
Councilmember Cotton.
Yes, sir, thank you. Matt, I just have one question, because there's only
Sure.
2 bids. I mean, there's a ton of commercial nurseries that would be able to handle something like this. Why do you think that is? Like, why, is it maybe, I don't know, what, do we need to look at our RFP process to be more robust, or why do you think we only got 2 respondents?
Well, this was the second time we put this out. The first time we put it out, the layout was a little bit differently. We changed it with the hopes of being more palatable for some of these nurseries. I think one of the biggest things is how the nursery industry runs. Obviously, they plant for what they anticipate needing, and obviously with the shifts in housing market and things like that, that price can fluctuate. And I think in some situations, a big commercial nursery that has their set customers that they're doing for private building, subdivision things, doesn't necessarily need a contract like this. So it may not be as appealing to a wide variety. That's just my personal opinion, just from years of experience. But like I said, we tried it twice, and we actually got respondents this time, which we did not the first time. So
No, I appreciate that explanation, because that can be something tricky, I think, for the public too. You know, I don't think that people understand where you just struck the nail on the head, is that nurseries will kind of do their ordering for a seasoned process behind for what they have coming in, so they know it's going out and it's not taking up their real estate on their property as well. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
absolutely.
Anything else? Okay. I do have a question. The landscaping that's been put in Clearwater Beach looks great in the roundabout along the edge of Pier 60 Park. I did see this past week where looks like there's been some burn on it. I don't know if it's too dry or if the cold weather affected it some. I heard today on the radio that if some of the plants that were damaged during the cold weather, if everybody just be patient, they'll come back. But can you shed any light on
Yes, sir.
anything that may have been damaged that was recently put in?
It was that stretch of below freezing temperatures. I mean, we hadn't had temperatures that cold in 16 years. So the plants that got damaged, unfortunately, had just been put in, but even plants that have been in for 10 years got the same fate if they were in those species. That's one of those things that we try to plant things that are cold tolerant, drought tolerant, but at the same time, at the beach and other places, we have to have a tropical look. We could put cold hardy plants, not have a freeze, and it would not be as attractive. So that's one of those things that we take a chance on. Unfortunately, this time, we will end up probably losing 5 to 10% of the material. And that's just sort of the nature of the beast, but it will get replanted. We're gonna hopefully more of it comes back than what currently shows freeze damage.
Yeah.
We'll assess it as we go and replace as needed.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do we have consent on this
Yep.
agenda? Consent on 5.3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item 6.1.
Authorize a purchase order of Elksy doing business as Q's of Orlando, Florida for the purchase of Ford F-550 diesel cab.
Good afternoon, City Council. Good afternoon, Mayor, City Leadership. Brandy Colandrea, General Services Director. Before you is the request to replace G4858, which is a 2020 Ford F-550 box truck, which is equipped with CCTV equipment for the Public Utilities Department. The CCTV equipment is for cameraing the lines throughout the city for infrastructure. The item would have been on the FY27 replacement list. However, we're replacing it ahead of schedule due to the inoperability of the asset. And the purchase price of this asset will be $514,399.74, should you approve it. And if you have any questions or concerns, we're more than happy to address.
Okay. Any questions on this agenda item? Councilmember
Just a
Cotton?
comment. Thank you very much for going over what the truck was, because I think when most people see box truck of an F-550, they go to their Google and it shows $70,000, so they're probably wondering why it's $500,000. So hitting, the need for the inspection of the infrastructure, I think, was key there. So I do appreciate you doing that. I do have another question. How did it get damaged?
So we were working in poor lighting conditions. This was back in 2024. We were working in poor lighting conditions, and we pulled into a tree branch that had hit it. So we made some changes to our procedures. We're going to make sure that when we're backing, that we have a spotter if it's available, and making sure that we're looking for such things. A lot of times, when we have work that's during the day, that's in the evenings, and we can go out there during the day and get an idea of what it looks like out there, we're going to go and do that in advance too.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for updating those policies. Maybe we can get some floodlights on that sucker too. Bring the sun with you if you have to go out at night.
We've actually designed the new truck, so it's going to be a 6 to 9 month lead time typically for this type of asset, and we've asked for the reinforcement on the roof because it was the AC unit that was damaged, so it peeled it back. So
Gotcha.
we've asked for some reinforcement, which kind of reflects in the price a little bit.
Thanks, guys.
Good.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay. Do we have consent?
Yep.
We have consent on 6.1, okay? Thank you. Item 6.2.
Authorize a funding revision and contract extension to the purchase order with Enforcement 1 of Oldsmar.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council, City Leadership, Brandy Colindre, General Services Director. Before you is the request to do a revision to the current contract to extend for FY26 upfitting and FY27 projected upfitting. We plan for an aggressive replacement cycle for FY27 as well. With the information coming out faster, our data is getting better and better, so we're looking at getting units that should have been out of the fleet sooner rather than later. So we're looking to extend this contract in a not-to-exceed amount of $2.3 million, and we're also asking for a contract extension to put us through the end of fiscal year 27. With that said, when this contract expires, we're looking to combine all citywide upfitting, both public safety and non-public safety, into one contract. Therefore, we're not managing all of these onesie-twosies. And I'm available should you have any questions or concerns.
Okay. Questions? Councilmember Cotton?
Apparently, it's only me, so I appreciate it. Thank you again for that awesome explanation. I think that that's huge, and then getting all of these vehicles into one master program going forward, I think that's fantastic. And I'm sure that was not an easy load to try and get every department into that future model. So thank you very much for you, your staff, for getting onto that. I think that it'll really set the city up for budgeting in a better way going forward. It is a big number, but when you look at what the outfitting of these vehicles and the modernization that it comes with and how it's transcending all departments, it's not just one specific department. I mean, I think that these are just the costs that are necessary for, vehicles today in the industries in which they're serving. I'd also like to point out just for the public that when reading through the documents on number 18, subsection B, you can read from what I understand it as a provision that we're not locked in should we need to replace another vehicle and go. They don't have it through Enforcement 1. We can get one at a local dealership here should we need it. So we're still flexible there, but I appreciate, again, the detailed explanation.
Thank you for that. And it also gives us some, just for your general understanding, it gives us some flexibility by asking for the spend in FY27 now. We can make those purchases, so right now we have some lulls in the upfitting because of getting those, the purchases out in a timely manner. So it does help. Thank you.
And you make a great point. All the attachments are there for the public to read if they choose to do so, like we have. So, thank you. Any other questions, comments? If not, do we have consent? Agenda item 6.2 is...
Approve the annexation initial and future land use map designation of residential low initial zoning atlas designation of low medium density residential for 1604 Bon Air Street.
Good morning, Adrian Young, Plan Development. Voluntary annexation request is for 0.6 acres located at north side of Bon Air Street, 145 feet west of Ridge Avenue. The parcel is occupied by a detached dwelling. The applicant is requesting annexation to the city to receive sanitary sewer, solid waste, and water. Plan development staff concludes that the annexation is consistent with the comprehensive plan, community development code, and recommends approval. If there are any questions?
Any questions, comments? Okay, no, thank you. Agenda item 7.2.
Approve the annexation initial future land use map designation of residential suburban and initial zoning atlas designation of low-density residential district for 2941 Abbey Lake Road.
Yes, Adrian Young again, Plan Development. This is a voluntary annexation request for 2.5 acres located west of Abbey Lake Road, approximately 512 feet west along Abbey Lake Road. The parcel is currently occupied by a detached dwelling. The applicant's request annexation to the city to receive city services. Plan Development staff concludes that the annexation is consistent with the comprehensive plan, community development code, and recommends approval. If there are any questions?
Okay, questions, comments? None? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Agenda item 7.3.
Council members, 7.3 and 7.4 are to be continued to March 30, 2026.
Okay. Agenda item 8.1.
Authorize a purchase order with APG Electric.
Mayor, council members, Dan Mayer, IT Director. APG is our current AV maintenance provider, so we have everything from the AV equipment you see in here and the new City Hall to video walls, which are becoming a more popular device. They've been working for us in this capacity for about the last 2 to 3 years, and we've been very pleased with their products. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, questions, comments on this agenda item? Councilmember Cotton.
Just a comment again, thank you, Dan, for bringing this up. You know, when you go and look through this agenda item, you can see that it's, you know, not just, in my opinion, important to ensure that the city is staying on top of its technology infrastructure, but also, you know, we're hitting Emergency Operations Center, the Police Real-Time Crime Center, and those are both out of warranty, but, you know, from 6 years ago. So on top of being infrastructure ready, it's showing our emergency preparedness readiness. So thank you for staying on top of this. I think that it's definitely needed and will put us in a good future going forward.
Thank you.
Anything else on this item? If not, do we have consent?
Yep.
We have consent on 8.1. Thank you. Agenda item 9.1.
Approve the joint participation agreement between the City of Clearwater and the State of Florida Department of Transportation for a grant to repaint runway and taxi markings.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'm Aaron Braley, Marine and Aviation Division Controller. This item approves a Florida Department of Transportation aviation grant, aviation grant to repaint the runway and taxiway markings at Clearwater Executive Airport. The project will enhance airfield visibility and maintain compliance with applicable safety and operational standards. The total project cost is $40,000 with FDOT funding 80% or $32,000 of it, and the city providing a 20% local match of $8,000. Staff recommends approval of the grant agreement. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay. Questions or comments? Councilmember Cotton.
Great job, guys, getting this grant. I think that that's huge again. As we can see, the FDOT putting in 80% with our 20% match. The city's only putting in $8,000 to things that I think are greatly needed. So thank you for working on that.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Not? Do we have this is not a consent item. Okay. Move to item 10.1. Thank you. Yeah.
Approve a funding agreement between the city and Pinellas on Coast Transit Authority to provide enhanced Jolly Trolley service during spring break.
Hey, good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. I'm Mike Chalet, the Parking Manager at the Public Works Department. Item before you today is request approval for a funding agreement between the City of Clearwater and the Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority, or PSTA. This is to provide free enhanced Jolly Trolley service to the public during spring break season from March 1st to May 3rd. The agreement is consistent with those approved in prior years. The primary exception is that due to ongoing construction downtown, we're going to have an alternate pickup and drop-off location that will be utilized at the temporary parking lot located at South MLK Junior Avenue. This service will provide reliable alternative to driving and is critical to managing congestion, supporting tourism, and maintaining a positive experience for both residents and visitors during our peak season. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Councilmember Cotton.
Yes, sir, thank you. Thank you very much for that. This is more so just to shed light on why this is needed and for us to maybe discuss or maybe get an update on where Forward Pinellas is with the traffic study because of the congestion that we see on our beach and, you know, what that poses. I obviously have nothing wrong with this agenda item. I think it's needed and there's a reason, but if we could maybe kind of tap back into that and see if they have an update in the future, if we've heard anything recently.
I don't know if Lauren's able to, I suspect at this point it's still ongoing. We have not received any reports yet, correct?
Sorry for my curveball, guys.
That's okay.
Good afternoon, Lauren Matzke, Planning and Development. We've had some internal meetings with the consulting group, but we don't have anything formal to present yet. We hope to have something in the near term. We're going to be bringing an item to our internal strategy group next week, and we'll share some information via the city manager.
Awesome, great. It's just good to hear that, you know, those wheels are still turning and look
Yes.
forward to the future of how that comes out. And I know that a bunch of our residents and other tourists and visitors are excited to hear that type of stuff. So thank you.
And with that, we'll be doing some outreach, and we're starting to prep for that. So timing-wise, making sure that, you know, we're catching the right people, but timing it around spring break and Sugar Sands and all the other
Oh, yeah.
exciting stuff that goes on out there.
For sure. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
But that study's a long-term project. It's not gonna, and I think, and it's just focused on between the roundabout and Sankey Bridge, right, that segment?
South side of, Stan Slaughter, Assistant City Manager. It's for the south side of the roundabout.
Yeah.
I suspect, to tie it back to this item too, you're always going to end up wanting to promote and advocate for a mass transit process too, to kind of complement it. But it'll be more about flow than it will be about probably, traffic's one of those things that you don't make it go away, you just transfer your problem to somewhere else in some way. So there's going to be, from my understanding of that study, there'll be maybe some low-hanging fruit, but then some other long, expensive capital projects that we'll have to consider.
Right. And to Ms. Matzke's point, this is like the worst time of the year for that bottleneck between Sankey Bridge and the roundabout. So it's a great time to study it too over the next couple months, so.
And when you add our urban renaissance downtown, it's just another avenue.
Well, I have one question. Yeah, there you go. I have one question.
Yes, sir.
How's this compare to what we've spent? Because we've done this annually, right?
Oh, that's a great question. Last year, we did spend $108,171. This year, the cost is $154,325. And that's attributable to this separate location, MLK and Gould. It's a totally separate route that has to go out there instead of just hitting the downtown locations, which last year, Garden Avenue Garage, Pinellas County Garage, our transit center, and then, of course, out to the beach. But this is just an added shuttle service for that.
So there's some extra expense, but
Yes.
it's something we've done annually, I think. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes, sir, and the extra expense is, of course, inflation from previous year, but the majority of it is the additional mileage to do the additional loop, the larger loop.
Right. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Do we have consent on this agenda? Okay, we have consent. Thank you. 11.1.
Owen Kohler, interim city attorney. This is my item. This is a outside counsel agreement involving a trip and fall in the city. Due to a vacancy of the litigation attorney, we are hiring an outside law firm to handle certain litigation cases. This is one of them. We are using Baker Lopez, who the city has used on and off for 17 years. The contract is exempt from bidding pursuant to section 2.5631G, and I'm open for questions if you have any.
Okay. So this is 11.1, 11.2, and 11.3 together collectively.
Same thing,
Yeah.
it's different plaintiffs, but it's involving the city, and I can certainly say the same thing over each item if necessary.
Any questions on any of those three? Okay, if not, okay, thank you.
May we
Let-
place it on consent, council?
Yes, yeah. 11.4.
11.4 is also my item, and it is a contract with Bush Graziano. It involves two different legal matters. One is in 2021, an employee sued the city alleging employment discrimination or retaliation. After an 8-day trial, pre-trial motions and post-trial motions, the city prevailed and was awarded attorney's fees and costs along with the other co-defendant, Joe Rossetto, that's a former HR director. So now the employee has appealed that decision, and we're going to have a law firm represent the city in the 11th Circuit. The second matter involves an arbitration involving the same employee. Normally, I would be handling that arbitration, but due to my current role as the interim city attorney, I don't have time to do it. So I'm going to allow either Greg Hearing or Sasha Dyson to handle that arbitration, which were the same two attorneys that represented the city in the federal complaint. Both are very well respected. They're both certified in labor and employment law.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions, comments? Do we have consent? We have consent on 11.4. Thank you. 11.5.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Jared Simpson. I'm with the City Attorney's Office. We're here requesting authority to initiate foreclosure actions on behalf of the city to recover amounts owed under municipal liens. These are all liens that have been created through the code enforcement process. We have an outside attorney that's handled this for the city for many years, Widener Law, and we recently renewed that agreement so that it's anticipated that we'll refer these out to Matt Widener to handle. Simply because we filed a lawsuit does not necessarily mean that the city's going to take ownership of the property at the end of the foreclosure. We will still consider settlements throughout that process, and oftentimes when people get served, they do get into gear and start working on the problems that we've been trying to get them to address throughout this time. So if we do reach a settlement, if it results in a reduction over $100,000 of whatever the lien amount would be, that would come back to the council for approval. Otherwise, it would be handled under the city code related to settlements. We know that this is a very serious remedy to seek, and so that's why it went through a pretty thorough vetting amongst the staff. We had members of the finance department, economic development, planning, myself, and the assistant director here vetted the master list of liens that we have to come up with this smaller list that we're presenting to you today. Rebecca's here to tell you some more of the specifics on the property. Just one other legal item to note is that when a lien is recorded related to code enforcement, it does cross encumber all of the property that they own within the county. So sometimes we will be addressing those other properties, or we may seek some alternative remedy like a money judgment or something like that if there some issue comes up in the process like homestead that we weren't able to identify in this initial review. And with that, I'll turn it over to Rebecca to give you some of the specifics.
Thank you, Jared. Hi, I'm Rebecca, Planning and Development. So I'm going to go over the properties that were selected through the procedure that Jared mentioned. We have 5 properties that were selected. And from those properties, they were identified to have violations through the Municipal Code Enforcement Board. They were identified as non-homesteaded properties. No one is currently living at them, and they potentially are causing both a financial burden and potential safety concerns that the city is regularly having to address. It also poses an opportunity for development within these properties, as well as identifying collectively the city has had to remediate over 48 times over the last several years in order to keep them at a minimum standard for the other residents and property owners around them. And the fines collectively are accruing daily at over more than $575,000 that the city has in outstanding liens or hard costs collectively that the city has put out. The first one I wanted to talk about was 1915 Macumber. This is a vacant property. Is it up before I go too far?
I'm hearing there are technical difficulties.
I do, they're not colored.
We have black and white hard copies of KP.
Perfect.
They're not as pretty. Well,
But you can put it on the.
right there.
Right there, yeah.
Thought you were putting on it. Gonna be my visual.
Teamwork.
Puller, thank you. All right, the first one here is, 1915 Macomber Avenue. This property has been found in violation as an abandoned building by the Code Enforcement Division. It has over $259,000 in fines accruing for not only abandoned building, exterior surface, fence maintenance, yard maintenance, and it's accruing daily. Nobody's doing anything at the property. The utilities have been off since 2021, and the property continues to deteriorate. The property owner, based on conversation with neighbors, appear to potentially have passed away. This would be something that would be vetted through the outside counsel. But the staff within the Code Enforcement Division has not been able to get a hold of anybody. No one has responded to the certified notices or any postings that we've left at the property.
Okay.
That doesn't work. Next one. The next two are combined together because they're, we call sister lots, they're right next to each other. One are 1115 LaSalle and 1113 LaSalle. These are vacant lots. They have never had any development on them, and we are routinely having to abate them. While this doesn't have a substantially high lien amount, it is expending a great deal of resources on the city to maintain them, and they are posing encampment issues for homeless. We're having to cut back. There's vermin complaints. We have 2 developed properties on either side of them. The rest of the community is fully developed residential, and these 2 have been left dormant for years. There has been no response to any notices as well. In fact, we've become the maintenance on the property, as originally these violations were identified by a citizen. They're now becoming self-identified through the inspectors that work the area to make sure when they see it getting overgrown that we're addressing that, so. The next one would be 2387 Nash. Thank you. This is an unoccupied single-family home, also has outstanding violations for abandoned building, has had no utilities, has various violations, exterior surface, evidence of home deterioration, and no one has responded to any notices. The inspectors and neighbors are having to collaboratively maintain this property. Sometimes the neighbors will mow it. It is open to the back, and so it can become a hazard there as well. The roof is deteriorating, different areas of that. And so we're requesting to move that forward to either get the property back in shape through action through the attorney or to take possession. And then the last one that I wanted to go over was 1234 Eldridge. So this is another vacant home that we've had no interactions with to move anything forward. From the street, it doesn't look too bad due to some maintenance that we're having to do regularly on the property. We've had 10 abatements at this property to keep the lawn mowed, both in the front and the back. The windows are boarded up, the soffit and fascia are deteriorating, and we have approximately $211,000 accruing for abandoned building. I'll take any questions anyone may have for me or Jerry.
Okay, any questions? Councilmember Menino.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for that report. I know this is a sensitive topic, and a lot of our municipalities battle this. And what you're not presenting to us is overgrown grass and somebody living at the home, and we're trying to foreclose on them. And that's a different case, and that happens as well. And cities have that right, and is it right or is it wrong? There's large arguments regarding that. These are hazardous to our neighborhoods. They're unsafe. They don't only promote homeless encampments that we've seen on so many of them through the neighborhoods, but it's rodents and issues with stuff like that. Children find their way onto these houses, kids find their ways in knowing that it's on the block and it's vacant and no one's ever there, and they end up playing in the yards and in the backyards. I had the fortunate opportunity to chair our municipal code board, and I can't tell you how many residents come in and think that the city does nothing on this. How come we've abated 15 times, we've mowed their lawn or done different things to help, and neighbors pick up the slack and help as well, and it gets frustrating to them. It affects their property values. So this is a tricky situation, but I appreciate you going in depth on each one because they are abandoned, they're unsafe, nobody is living there, they're non-homesteaded. Some of them are 21 abatements, 10 abatements, 15 abatements, and that gets a little bit out of control. I think what you're doing is bringing some reprieve to a lot of neighbors in these neighborhoods. I'm sure they would sit in this very front row and probably thank you for what you're doing to help protect these neighborhoods and the kids in the neighborhoods and their property value. So I know it's a sensitive subject, but I appreciate you going in depth on what we've done as a city and as a team to try to help the neighborhood and to help the individual property or homeowners if there are any. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Vice Mayor?
Yeah, if you had to give me a rough estimate, what does that recovery look like?
If we move forward.
Yes, if all things align really well, what is that recovery going to look like?
So-
In terms of percentage of recovery?
Percentage of recovery. Well, we hope to recoup our costs, but we look at what the property is worth, and then we go forward through the court system to get awarded, and then it'll either come into our inventory or we've gone to auction before to try to recoup costs. It would depend if there was other liens on properties that superseded ours, so each one is case by case and would depend on, does someone step forward? So we vet each one with the outside counsel to determine best practices and what to do moving forward. Sometimes someone will come forward when they get the outside attorney's notice, different than when code enforcement sends it, unfortunately, and then we work to negotiate not only recouping the costs, but it's tied to bringing the property back into compliance. So what does that look like, get the home reactivated, utilities turned back on, proper maintenance, things of that nature, so.
Yeah, with 2 lots, and, I mean, one of the buildings is unsalvageable, I think, the first one, so I think the recovery would be a challenge with 2 lots in the
The
houses.
property at 1915 Macumber, we have, inspectors have had conversations in the past, and the primary owner passed away, and they said that they've kind of thrown their hands up, told the city, do what you need to do. They're not gonna maintain it any longer.
I'll just add to that if it does get pushed to an auction, the city would essentially have a credit bid in the amount of our lien plus whatever attorney's fees. Our outside counsel will be tallying up his costs and fees throughout the process. So all that would get totaled on, that would be the minimum bid once it went to auction. So if an investor is seeing the viability of redeveloping it, it might be less likely that we would get an outside bid. In that case, the city would take ownership. We put it in with our affordable housing land bank program, and we try to figure out what to do with it from there.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. I guess I'll go last. Agree with everything you said, Councilmember Menino. You said it perfectly. These are vacant properties, abandoned properties, so we're not evicting anybody or kicking anybody out, but they are a real threat to the welfare of our neighborhoods and our cities. So thank you for sharing that. With that, we'll move to item, do we have consent on this? Okay, very good, thank you. Move to item 11.6.
11.6 is a resolution. It was proposed by Councilmember Albritton. On the work session on February the 2nd, Council discussed the resolution which opposes the inclusion of offshore oil and gas leasing off the coast of Florida. Had the city attorney make some changes, which included formatting it and then changing who the resolution is sent to. I have now done that, and I'm open for questions.
Questions, comments? Okay. Okay, I think we're good.
Good.
Thank you for proposing. Agenda item 11.7.
11.7, it is another city attorney item. Council, this involves an ordinance. I would like to continue this to a date not certain. I'd like to review this in a little bit more detail. I've learned some new information, I'd like to get some more data, and I just want to move this to a date uncertain.
Okay, any objection? Okay, all right. Move to item 11.8.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Jared Simpson. I'm with the City Attorney's Office. Here I have a resolution, and this is something that's requested by title related to the old City Hall site. We are working towards closing that transaction very soon. Feel very positive about that. This is just something that the title companies would like to see. We plan to attach this to the deed. That shows that the persons that are signing the deed have the authority to sign it. It also addresses mineral rights. Florida law has an automatic reservation of mineral rights for when governmental entities own property, so we're expressly releasing that. That's part of conveying marketable title, which we're obligated to do under our purchase contract. So we're asking that you approve this resolution.
Okay. Any questions? Councilmember Medina.
No, Mayor, just a comment, appreciate staff, all hands on deck and continuing to move this forward. This is another very hope-filled and optimistic horizon for Clearwater. That old City Hall property is really going to be a huge asset for the citizens of Clearwater and for the city of Clearwater. So I thank you for moving it forward, and hopefully we can stay right on schedule with it. I know the Assistant City Manager is very excited about you staying on schedule.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Councilman Robert.
So I just want to echo the same thing. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. It's on schedule. Hopefully Friday it'll close. Is that the closing date?
The buyers have requested for Friday, and I'm working hard to make sure that happens. Certainly, we want to see that happen. The city does have some closing conditions that are very important, and we want to make sure that we're crossing every T, dotting every I, and every J, lowercase j. I always remember to include that, you know. But yes, we are on track for Friday, and we're very hopeful that we're going to get there. So
Great, thank you.
Okay, any other comments?
I like that.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keep crossing
Okay.
those J's.
That will move to item 12, City Manager verbal reports.
Nothing, sir.
Item 13, City Attorney verbal reports.
Nothing, Mayor.
Item 14, is there any new business? Nothing. Item 15, council comments.
Nothing here, sir.
Okay. Item 16, closing comments by mayor. I did want to say one thing. So the reason I came in right at 1 was I went to the State of the Region lunch over at USF today. And before lunch began, I had a chance to talk with brand-new USF president, Moaz Limayim, hours after he started his job. So he said, he reported to us at lunch that so far, in about 3 hours of work, he had not had any complaints from faculty or from students over at USF. So he felt like he's off to a good start. But what I wanted to share with you is something he said to me when I introduced myself, first time I'd met him, mayor of the city of Clearwater. He said, we need to get together and meet. You're on my list. He says, I hear about all the great things happening in Clearwater.
Oh, that's nice.
And I can tell you that impressed me, you know, particularly what Mr. Simpson just shared about the movement on the Gotham property. But I can tell you all, and you all are out there too, and across the bay and down St. Petersburg. He was just one of a number of people who have said that to me recently. Folks are noticing all the growth, construction, the activity over here, and I want to share that with you because that's encouraging for me, encouraging for all of us, certainly the city council and all the staff, that what we're doing, the efforts we're making, it's making a difference. People are noticing us, and that was just a great comment for me to hear today. So we wish the president best of luck. USF's very important to our region, of course, and we'd love to see more USF involvement over here on this side of the bay, and just wanted to share that with you all. So with that, I will adjourn the work session of the Clearwater City Council for February 17th, 2026.